Welcome here to the Ground Music. We're here with the Spring Standards in Beachland in Cleveland, Ohio. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves for us, that'd be great.
My name is James Clear, and I play guitar in the Spring Standards.
My name is James Smith, and I play some other stuff in the Spring Standards.
My name's Heather Robb, and I play piano and various other things in the Spring Standards.
Cool. Thank you guys. We appreciate the interview. So you got a new double EP, not an LP out.
Yeah,
and
don't confuse it.
well, curious minds would like to know why the double EP. For our viewers, it's yellow/gold. So if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Hit it, Rob.
Well, in West Philadelphia.
Born and raised in the
No.
Yeah, it's the quickest we've ever just gotten into the first Springsteen song. Meaning right off the bat.
Yeah, we had this idea that we wanted to do 2 EPs that showed the 2 sort of sides of our musical identity, so to speak. One that highlighted sort of the more acoustic folk influences, and the other that sort of emphasized the rock side and the noisier, grittier side of what we do and who we are. And we wanted to release them together for a variety of reasons. One was that we really felt like they belonged together, even though that they were intended to sort of highlight the differences. We felt that having them sort of appear in tandem would further sort of drive home the point, which is that you can be one band and still have a variety of different sounds that all kind of work together to create sort of that cohesive identity. And that's something that was important to us. And then, you know, something that James says a lot is that we also wanted to sort of harness that old sort of classic feeling of side A, side B mentality, where, you know, you're like an active listener. You have to, you know, you have to put one on, then you have to flip it over and put the other one on, and it sort of begs that more engaged listening experience, and so it's a lot of that and much more, but that's sort of the overarching 2 or 3 sort of philosophies behind it, and we're really proud of it. Feel free to add on if I left anything out.
I guess we like to waste CD material.
Yeah, we wanted to up our carbon footprint pretty intensely.
Yeah, and get off our back about it, okay?
The other indie bands are reducing their carbon footprint. We figured Contraflow is the way to go.
And we figured we recycled in making it for our donors, like out of cereal boxes and all the floppy disks. So we figured, F the environment. I think we've done quite enough.
We can pile it on.
2 EPs
It's like when you run for health reasons and then go to Wendy's.
Exactly.
My Friday morning.
Equilibrium, my friends.
Extra butter on your popcorn with a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Mixed in with a little bit of Coke.
Yeah.
Or that.
Medium size.
Yeah, medium. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try to rein this in.
Yeah, rein it back.
Rein it back, right?
Pull us in. We need it.
I was wondering if you could explain to us a little bit what your songwriting process looks like.
Sure.
It's like a gauntlet of torture mechanisms. No, we actually have an advantage. A lot of bands, there's one dude or one lady or one dude lady writing all the music and all the lyrics and everything, and just sort of like, all right, band, time for me to teach you all this stuff. But we have the advantage of not only being 3 people, which is an odd number and great for decision making, because it's kind of like 2 versus 1 all the time. It's always, stuff gets done quickly. But the 3 of us are all individual writers and lead singers in the band. So it's not only like, I think I'm going to write Heather a tune. It's normally like, we'll each write our own tune for our voice, like knowing our stuff, speeding it along, knowing the key that we sing in and all that stuff. And we'll come in and arrange together. We'll make like a, we'll come in with just a seed of a song and end up with a whole bed of grass, because we're all just firing away, and it happens quicker than a lot of bands where it is just, you know, wait till everything's all written. We come in, and if everyone just wrote 1 song, we've got 3 done. Right. You know, so like, and the records came along that way actually. It would be like we each had a tune we'd work on, and we each had a tune we'd work on. That process repeated itself 3 or 4 times. We had the double LP, or the double EP. So like, you know, we have a particular advantage, which is that we all are writing at the same time. So it's a speed advantage. take care of more stuff. And I think you end up with the thing that Heather was talking about, where things like sound different, but it's okay. There's still a cohesive delivery of what we do as a packaged thing, even though things are coming from different places. Even will tell you, like, it's like, you know, we each write the songs differently, but we all put them together the same way. So,
well, I think the vocals tend to be something that brings it together, but also you just sound, you have a cohesive sound that even if, whether it's an upbeat sound or more of a relaxed, slower, it's still, the sound itself is unique to your band, which is what allows you to jump into different styles but still sound like you.
that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, this is not necessarily true, but I've always thought that with one of my favorite bands is the Beatles, and if you look at like their like
cliche.
yeah, it's total cliche.
I think I've heard of that. Right? That's with two E's.
Yeah, two E's and a double E at the end too.
Oh god,
they wrote the craziest songs. You know, they wrote one song and then another song that were completely different. But every time you hear a Beatles song, not just because you know them, but the first time you hear a new Beatles song, you're like, oh, that's the Beatles, but I've never heard this song. Do you know what I mean? There's a recognizable thing, and what actually is that? It's the voices, it's their style. There's something inherent between the chemistry between them that you're like, oh, this is definitely totally the Beatles, you know. And for the love of God, don't strike me down lightning, you know. But I think that's something a lot of bands have too. That there's, you know, you could write completely different styles of music, but if the same people are singing them or doing them or arranging them, there's going to be that inherent thread, that through line that you're going to be able to tell.
And that's what's different between singer-songwriting artists versus people that have people writing music for them. Right. And that's why the Beatles, it can be that way, because it's an organic kind of thing. That's cool. So I guess you answered my next question, which was going to be about who takes the lead on the track. So I wanted to ask that one.
Boom! I nipped it in the bud.
Yeah, exactly.
Next questions.
The next question is influences, which I guess we could assume the Beatles would be one. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, but if you could explain kind of some of your influences in writing, what you're listening to, that, and in particular for Yellow Gold, that'd be great too.
I think what we have like all of us have different unique sort of like arms reached out for other crazy styles of music, but I think our center as core as a band is like, you know, kind of older music, a la the Beatles or whatever, stuff in the 60s and 70s. Like, we love anything with harmony. We're all big, like, kind of like Neil Young and CSNY, kind of that kind of school of, you know, Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, like that kind of thing is definitely in our harmonies. But I'd say the things that pull apart from that and give us a little bit more like color from a zoomed out point are more modern influences. Like a lot, you know, we reach out to things like the White Stripes to like and the AAS and stuff that's like all crazy and indie and stuff. So like we just really love like a ton like cheesy 80s music, and we like it really depends on like if you're talking about like the stuff that, you know, made us what we are, or the stuff that we really like that changes what we are by default, because there's sort of two answers there.
Right. Kind of both of those, and and the Yeahs and other indie bands are what we're all about. So you know.
But I mean, we also like, you know, Heather and I like were in particular. I mean, James too to an extent. But Heather and I really paid attention to the music our mothers were listening to in the kitchen, you know, and stuff like that. Like and the tongue-in-cheek vibe of that, and how cool it can be as a revisited approach to have synthesizers on songs. Like we've done on Gold. We made a song on Gold that has, you know, total kind of like reverse engineered like 80s pop vibe to it.
I listened to what my parents did too, but it was more like the Kingston Boys Choir.
Yes.
So yeah, it's all the same. You know. Anyway. Yeah. What are your influences?
Oh, I feel like they've been covered.
They have?
I feel sleepy from the food.
Oh no! All right.
We all listened to a Canadian band a lot in high school called Noxy Frugus, and they were sort of a quirky harmony singing, stand-up drumming, goofy rock band kind of thing. And we all would we'd follow them around and want to, you know, check them out. They were like they briefly had some success in the major metropolitan U.S., but they're mostly Canada band. They're like a big Toronto kind of deal.
All right.
So that really weird band, but really great. So I mean, that's one thing that we collectively, probably unconsciously, have like followed some blueprint moves from. but only because they were just completely unique and just inspired us to outdo the uniqueness, I think.
Okay.
That's probably the only, just like, well, we want to be something unique like those guys. I mean, that's all we know. I mean, I would imagine that would be done.
Let's be unique like everyone else.
Yeah, let's try to be unique. Like all those other unique people. That sounds great.
Let's do that. So I want, this question is for each of you to answer individually.
Okay.
What is your favorite song on the new double album?
All of my songs are tied for number one.
Yeah,
All
I would
of
say
your songs?
all of my
Yeah.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely have to, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna say all of my songs definitely would be the best.
Yeah, that's probably the way I would go.
Yeah, they're tied for first.
Yeah.
So
That's about it.
shit, that's a hard question actually.
I got it. My favorite song would be Crushing Pennies.
Okay.
And we're gonna play that later, so stay tuned for that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think
It's just a
maybe
straight
my
up. I don't have a
favorite
reason
song-
for it. That's the favorite song.
I really loved the story behind and the recording of So Simple, So True. We wrote that entirely in the studio. It wasn't really premeditated at all, except we knew that we wanted something that sort of took a cue from Find the Cost of Freedom, that Crosby, Stills Nash song. Or I guess it's Crosby, Stills Nash and Young song of
Yeah, don't leave Neil
So
out of
Far.
this. Neil
And,
needs to be included.
you know, it's just a song that has like a simple, pretty, I mean, it's not a simple statement. It's a very deep, complex statement. But it just says one thing and then repeats it. And we just wanted something like that. And I
It's almost
feel-
hymnal.
Yeah, it has like a hymnal vibe, exactly. We wanted something like that, and I had an idea for the lyric and had to leave the studio to go teach up in the Bronx and was driving and got stuck in traffic on my way back.
She's not like a professor. Or
And,
anything. It's like she has like.
I'm a
she has
teaching artist, yeah.
Yes.
And then on my way back in traffic, I wrote the lyric, and then we got back and we just did it in a couple takes. So I love that. I love that song for that reason, and I'm proud of all of us for piecing it together in a unique way.
No, I have no clue. I have no clue what my favorite song is. I really can't, because I could tell you what my favorite song is to play live right now. I could tell you what favorite song I've been listening to right now, but then if
What
you
about
were to
just
ask me
as a
that-
song?
But that's the thing, because if you were to ask me that question in 4 days, I would relate to them completely different. Be like, well, this is my favorite one.
Right this moment.
Right in this very
now.
moment, my favorite song to play live is Rusty Wheels.
Okay.
And I think my favorite song, also I don't, it's weird, but since we play them every night, I don't actually listen to the album that much right now. But I'd say my favorite recorded song was like, I'm like literally going through the library.
You're like just singing them through. You're like, yeah, that's a great song. Yeah, I'm down with that one. Okay, put that on the list.
We already said all of them.
All of them. I mean, it is actually. I'm not doing this because I'm genuinely having a difficult time. You know.
That's fine.
I mean, and I don't. How about this? I'll think about it while I'll ignore the rest of your questions, and I'll think about it while you're doing it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Great. And then at the end, I'll be like, and then we'll cut.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to finish up with this one. It's one of our favorite questions to ask, and that is, what would you like our viewers, our readers, to know about your band? And it can be something like a deep, profound confessional,
one.
or something really silly. However you want to answer this one.
We've got a neat new project we're starting that has been it has been suffering from a low lit flame, and it's a project Heather Stearns. You can talk more about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I really wanted to do this thing called the Paper Doll Project.
It's the
And,
Paper Doll Project.
We all have really strange, unique styles. We're always wearing weird stuff on stage. And we want to encourage people, if they're so inclined. We did it once. We did a test run in Easton, Maryland, where there's a great thrift store down the street from the venue. And I put it out there that if anybody brought me anything that they purchased from there, I would wear it. It didn't matter if it was ugly or weird or oversized, or I would wear it no matter what. And this girl brought this awesome shirt and said it was the ugliest thing she could find, and then of course I loved it. we tried to do it for this tour. We just put it out there and said, anybody that wants, try not to spend more than $5. We don't want anybody spending money on us. It's not about that. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Because we just think that shit is super fun. So it didn't really take off this tour, but I am hoping that it will gain some traction.
This is
and
gonna help.
People will think that it's just fun. What we'll do is, take a picture with you after the show and tag you on Facebook as our stylist for the night, and
Awesome.
you'll always be attached to that piece of clothing if you ever see it, in other performances we do, like whatever. It'll always be your contribution. So it hasn't really taken off, but I am wearing a shirt that I got right next door from the thrift store that's
Me
attached
too.
to the Beachland Ballroom. We love
The
used
shirt.
clothing, so
That's awesome.
Nice.
thanks. This is my weirdo with the fringe on it.
All right, everybody. Hopefully you'll get a chance to go
Paper
buy some
Doll
cool
Project.
stuff. The Paper Doll Project.
Paper Doll Project.
All right. Well, thank you guys again so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.